So, let's talk about How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. This is the third and most likely the final installment of DreamWorks' movie franchise How to Train Your Dragon. I have been a very big fan of this series of movies since the first one was released all the way back in 2010. The interesting and captivating stories, accompanied with beautiful visuals and animated characters who grew up with the passage of time as I did, left me each time wanting for more. But I believe every good story needs a good ending, and for me, The Hidden World is all I could have asked for. I decided to review this movie because even though it has gotten mostly good reviews, I haven't personally met many people who appreciate this movie as much as it deserves. We live in an era where sequels and reboots are happening left and right, and at the end of each cash grab attempt of a movie, there is a cliffhanger or build-up for yet another future sequel. So it feels like a breath of fresh air when we finally get a conclusion to a story while still being drawn in and enchanted by the storytelling and visuals of that same film, the same way we did as with its predecessors. So let's go over the three main points of this review: story and writing, cinematography, and CGI and characters. Story and writing. The story is about Hiccup, now the chief of the town Burke, and how after he finds out that the Night Fury Hunter is after Toothless, his own dragon, and the rest of Burke's dragons, he tries to keep the dragons and the people of his town safe by searching for the hidden world. It is a very simple premise and a very effective one of that. The idea of the hidden world itself comes a bit out of the blue, and there's many people out there who would argue that presenting such important information in form of flashback can be called lazy writing, and I partially agree. They could have done a better job of that. But when you have a new idea so far into the world building, it can be hard to write your way out of it. Apart from that, the characters have a very good motivation for leaving their home behind. This movie, unlike the majority of animated films, has more mature themes, which does that adults might enjoy it more than kids would. The main villain, as I mentioned previously, is the Night Fury Hunter, but he's not the only antagonist. One could argue that the main antagonist is Hiccup himself, for not believing in himself and, without getting into spoilers, for being unintentionally selfish. The writing is mostly clever, with well-functioning dialogues, minimal exposition, and a few dumb jokes here and there. All in all, this is a touching story about believing in yourself and about doing what is best for your loved ones, no matter how much it hurts you, with a beautifully composed and executed epic soundtrack to complement every scene, giving it more depth and emotion. Cinematography and CGI. Animated movies, because of the absence of real-life limits, have the tendency to use the camera in unrealistic ways, creating impossible shots. The Hidden World stays respectful to the traditional filmmaking by having the camera move only in ways it could be possible in a live-action set. There are shots that look like they have been filmed by a handheld camera and long takes that would be extremely difficult but not impossible to achieve in a real-life setting. This grounds the film to reality, elevating the quality of the movie and making every scene more impressive and entertaining to watch. Accompanied with great action and nice choreography, it results to every scene and shot being a masterpiece. From as early as the opening DreamWorks logo scene, you can tell that if not anything else, this movie will be absolutely beautiful. All the designs of the props, the creatures, and the characters, together with the astounding texturing work, are top shelf. Every scene is filled with colors that complement each other, and they come alive with a gorgeous lighting and smooth and precise animation. I'm not kidding. The amount of work and attention that has gone into every single moving thing in this film is unimaginable. It doesn't matter where you look. If it moves, you can be certain that the maximum amount of work has gone into it. The characters' body language and expressions carry the same amount of information as you would be able to see from a real person. And that's not where it ends. With all the new technology developments in CGI graphics, the effects and characters look better than ever. You know how many times the characters in animated movies look plastic and fake? Well, that's not the case here. The people at DreamWorks figured a way around that by putting small, light-colored hair over the skin, also known as pitch fuzz, so the light wouldn't reflect directly from the skin, but instead be caught in the fuzz and spread naturally on the face. That effect, except for making the characters more realistic, it makes them more appealing to the eye, and there's a chance you won't even notice if you don't know about it. And now the effects. All the simulations in that film are incredible. From their clothes and other clothes to the hair, fires and explosions, clouds, all the way down to the sand with its millions of sand grains. Those are things you might not really notice, but it truly makes a difference when their quality is so high. Try to imagine all the hours of work and rendering that go into making films like that. And then, without any warnings, comes the pinnacle of it all. The hidden world itself. The hidden world is one of the most impressive, beautifully crafted, stunning pieces of CGI scenery in an animated movie. A 5-minute long scene flying us through this place with an incredible amount of detail matched with a rich color scheme, breathtaking lighting, and a sea of unique dragon designs matched with a beautiful choreography and visual storytelling is truly one of the most incredible achievements in animation history. Characters. A year has passed off-screen since the last movie, and you can see it both in the character designs and in the relationships those characters have with each other. Apart from a couple of them who are only there to make the same kind of joke over and over, the rest of them are pretty solid. Hiccup's relationship with Toothless has evolved to a powerful friendship, and it keeps developing throughout the film's progression. One of the relationships I like the most watching this movie is that of Hiccup and Astrid's. Their relationship is very realistic. They support and challenge each other the way a well-functioning couple should do. They have their cheesy moments, but I know from experience that those are part of any relationship. For some, maybe more than others, but they are there. And finally, let's talk about the villain. This is where most people draw the line and exclaim that this is a bad movie. And I kinda get why. He's a bit shallow. He's a hunter that is known for killing all the Night Furies except for Hiccups. His motivation is good, but he sort of comes out of nowhere, similarly to the idea of the hidden world. Personally, it didn't bother me, and here's why. First of all, as a villain, he does a great job. He's scary and intimidating without being big, ugly, or scary looking. You're afraid of him because he's smart, and as it's established from early on when we first meet him, he's capable and fearless. He's always a step ahead. He knows what he's doing, and more importantly, he's not supposed to be the main antagonist. He's there to push Hiccup into believing in himself and his skills without his dragon. He's only there as a motivation for Hiccup to grow, and I'm fine with that. Conclusion. In case you couldn't tell, I really like this movie, and I can definitely recommend it to all of you. It's a funny, heartwarming, and touching adventure that concludes an almost 10-year-old story in the best way possible. That's it for today. Thanks so much to all of you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment, subscribe and ring the bell so you know when the next video comes out. It really helps a lot. See you next time at Wandering Cosmos.